Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new NECA Gargoyles Lexington. The man that doesn't have, or shall I say the gargoyle that doesn't have giant wings. Again, it's not the wings that are the problem, it's the tail, my personal opinion. Anyway, I just got this, picked it up at Sergeant Red's here in Utica, Michigan. So you know what? If you're in the area, Detroit, Michigan, Utica, Michigan, swing on by. Best toy store you're gonna find. Honestly, guys, so good, and they're really good people. So anyway, let's take a look at this. Again, wonderful, wonderful design on the outside. NECA does a wonderful job. Then you open it up, and there you see the smaller of the gargoyles. I have a perfect space for him because he's not taking up all kinds of room. You can see his crossbow, his two heads, his remote control. Here's the artwork, and again, NECA does wonderful artwork. I wish they'd sell some of these backdrops, especially this one that we keep seeing with all the gargoyles, but there he is there. And there he is, showing off the angry face. And then we have the much more stoic-looking eyes, which just look really good. They just pop. And again, here you see everything. A couple different action shots. And then you have the cross-out, and the only one that we don't have right now is this guy right here, who is going to be an exclusive somewhere, but NECA didn't seem to know. So anyway, let's stop looking at this and let's look at this. But before we do, if you like the content that I've been giving you, if you like the gargoyle stuff that I've been giving you, and I've done a review on every single one of them, take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I do drop another gargoyle video. All right, so here's Lexington. He doesn't come with any of the other wings or anything. His wings are already attached to him, and you can see he is a much smaller figure. As you can see my Jada figure. He's a 6-inch figure, so he's much smaller than the other figures. Still a $40 price point, but let's see what we get with him. So we get this wonderful, wonderful looking crossbow here. And you gotta say, they put a lot of work into making this look nice. Now I'm wondering how well his hand is gonna hold on to this and how he can point it, but just looking at that, I mean, it makes it look like it's actual wood. And once again, everything is sharp and pokey, and NECA can lay off, maybe round the tips off a little bit. Man, it's rough. So anyway, chain looks really nice. I mean, it looks rusted. You can see here's a spot for the arrows, and I will show you those in a second. But looking at all of this, I mean, the detail is just marvelous. Again, that's where the arrow is going to go. Looks really good. So you have 4 arrows, and they're all individual small arrows. Let's see the best that I can do here. So they even have paint apps on these. You can clearly see that there is a tip on there. You have your wood arrow, I would assume. And there you have your wings, or whatever you want to call them. So it looks like they're just supposed to just go right in. Maybe you punch it in through the here. Where'd it go? I lost it. So it is in there, as you can see. It's actually aimed directly in the center, or pretty close to being in the center. Trying to show you here. It looks in the center to me on some angles. Other angles, it doesn't look that centered, but believe me, it looks very centered. So I guess it comes out to right there. So you can do different action shots because it looks like it's not meant to go past the hole right there. So I don't know what we're going to do with the other 3. I would assume it's in case you lose one, but all in all, that looks pretty sweet. These things are going to be worth money if these things end up being worth anything. So crossbow looks really nice. You just kind of push that back in. Just kind of pop it out like that. Then here is his headset here, which I think looks pretty nice. We'll see how it sits on his head. It does have the a little bit of a paint app here. He's obviously a gamer of some sorts. I don't really remember this. I know he was always like the younger one, so, but this looks pretty good. Not that much on it, just the paint app right there, it looks like, and right over here. So, and then you have the remote control. So the giant antenna that sticks out does not go down, nor do the controls actuate. But they did put some nice little paint on it. Paint on the knobs here. You got your red light so you know when it's on. Nothing on the back. So once again, looks pretty nice. It doesn't really come with too much now, does he? Especially for $40. Kind of shocking there. So he's got 2 fists. I would say clearly that is his crossbow hand. And just looking at the hands here, fingernails have a nice paint to them. Again, it looks really nice. And then you have your other hand, which is more of an open hand. Maybe he can hold it. And then we'll grab the angry face. They have absolutely no pupils. The teeth are just screaming at you. Now, I can't tell if that is really, really bad paint or he had really bad teeth. So that's something I'm going to have to look at a little bit closer before I make a determination on that. And I'll explain at the end of the video what I actually think. But everything else looks pretty nice. Until I get a good idea of these teeth here. I'm just kind of looking. No, it looks like that's how they're supposed to look. Now, maybe I don't remember as much in the cartoon. You can see his tongue back there. So, they, again, did a wonderful job. I'm so happy with how these gargoyles have really turned out. And this guy is really, really muscular. So he's got a different type of abs here. All right, so your tail, as you can see, it has holes in it because it is on a bendy wire. And you pretty much need to use these to stand up all the other gargoyles. I don't see him being too much different because of how they stand on the feet. So pop that on there. You got your bendy wire to help support them. Let's see how the articulation is. So not warming him up at all. We'll see how it is. If I need to warm him up, I will. He does seem pretty tight. Though he seems like he should get a pretty good T-pose to right about there. It looks like he'll probably get a little bit more. As you can see, there's a gap right there. He is tight. So, again, don't be He-Man. If you feel like you need to heat him up, go ahead. Double elbows. Again, nothing pinless. These ones do kind of stand out maybe a little bit, but oh well. So you get your bicep swivel. You got your wrist. They move in and out. Again, fingernails are pointy. Jean-Claude Van Damme. He gets not pinless knees, but the way that it covers it, you get a pretty much a full motion, well over 90 degrees right there. And then you have your ankles that will articulate. And then you have the toes that come out, which is, this is how they're supposed to walk. I feel like you really don't get as much articulation out of that as you need to get them to stand. Again, they're a very difficult standing figure without using the tail. So, kind of has like this ab rocker. It's really large. It doesn't really bother me that much, but once it's kind of pointed out, you can definitely see. Now, looking at the wings, these wings are on a very soft, pliable plastic. So pretty much anywhere that he's going to move his hand or his arms, I do think I'm going to have to heat this figure up a little bit to move him around a little bit more. But the wings are going to move around with it. So you can see how pliable they are. They feel like the draped wings. So you can see how this one already popped out. Again, that's not that big of a deal. But I am struggling here with this. So the wings will move up and down, but just the way the other ones do. They're probably on a ratchet system also. But you can't really move them. Maybe if you move it up here, then you can pull them back. Nice idea. I feel like I'm struggling a little bit with this. But I like the fact that I don't have some giant wings. So his wings are a little bit different. So looking at the back here, you have this nice texture. It looks like the wings may only be one color. But just the way it's textured, when the light hits it the right way, the shadows hit it the right way, it looks like it's, you know, painted. It looks like it is a different color. So, and then you obviously have the green. And I think it looks pretty nice. I don't see any rub on it really. On the inside here, it looks like that is 2 different paint jobs here. Again, you can see the veins that run through the wings. They do such a marvelous job, honest to God. In my opinion, this is just so good, especially for $40. Now, I think it might be a little pricey for this size figure. You know, we have the same issue with Super 7 when we talk about their Ultimates. Maybe this guy should have been $35, $30. But again, for what we're getting with the other ones, they look at it as it kind of offsets it. So, let's quickly pop off his head. Pops off really easy. Now looking at this head here, the eyes look good. Pupils are directly in the middle. Looks like there may be some paint rub right on the inside there. You have your teeth that are kind of sticking out, just like a dog does. Looking at him, he kind of looks like the Green Goblin in some ways. Nice round head. Not a lot of battle scars, so he looks good there. Take his angry face, and we will pop this on it. All right. So, looking at the rest of his body here, you can see the 2 different tones of the color, and then when the light hits it the right way, it looks like there's like a 3rd shade. You can really see a lot of shading because the detail in the abs, around the abductors and everything, look really, really nice. Around the rib cage, the striations actually through the chest, and anyone that's spent time bodybuilding, looking at other bodybuilders, God, that came out wrong, knows what I'm talking about. You get these striations. Same with the biceps, all the way through the forearms, into the legs. Now, again, these are gargoyles, so who knows exactly how their anatomy would work, but it just looks really, really sharp. And look at those calves. God, I'd kill for calves like that. Anyway, all right, let's pop this off. Let's see if we can get his crossbow in his hand. There's a crossbow. 1 hand, 2 hands. Here it is. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Got 6 G.I. Joe figures in. Got my live stream in a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be a long few days. Lots of YouTube going on. So, if you haven't checked out the live stream, Monday Night Toy Ramblings, you won't see it for a while. You have to watch it for, wait a week before it comes out. So, here you go with that. Can we position him? It's going to take a little bit of time because these wings are really going to cause some issues trying to get it into a shooting pose. But that's just a quick look at it. Now, again, I mentioned about the tail. I'm going to throw the tail down here, wrap it around so it coils. And then you can use it as a tripod. You guys don't get any sick ideas there. So there he looks. Not that bad. I'm a big fan of this head, to be honest. I like this one. So let's pop this hand off. These things do come off fairly easily, so there's a holding hand. I guess you still need this hand to hold his remote control. Maybe you can only hold it with 1 hand. They should have given, you know, with what he has here, I would say, you know, an extra hand would have been nice. A couple hands where he's actually controlling this. Really got to play around to get this into his hand properly. Then his headphones. Open them up. See how well they're going to stick onto his ears. So I guess it's decent looking at it. Got the microphone up to him. Everything looks really nice. Again, kind of light on accessories. A smaller figure. Probably should have gone, you know, a little bit cheaper. I'm not going to complain because of how much plastic we get with some of the others. But you kind of got to be honest with this stuff here and say, you know what? Sometimes you have to go a little bit cheaper. Is this hand going to hold it? Looks like that hand will hold this better, so. pop this on here. So I guess you can kind of make them. It's going to take a little bit of time. These wings are really going to keep them from bending in specific poses, just due to, I mean, the way things work. So anyway, all right. Not that bad. Looks pretty good. Not much more to say. I mean, you've seen what he looks like. I think it looks a nice looking figure. That is for sure. I couldn't drop it like that and do that again if I tried. So let's wrap it. All right, final thoughts on the NECA Gargoyles Lexington is I think this figure looks really amazing. The paint on it, the face sculpt on it. He's a much smaller figure, and the wings are they're just welcome to be changed, but there are some drawbacks to it. You're constantly going to be popping them out when you move the arms around. It's going to take time to pose this figure and get good action shots, but you're going to be able to do it. The crossbow is amazing. 4 different arrows. Again, you're going to end up losing it. If you look at those arrows sitting right there, and you look at the color of my desk, you can see I was kind of worried about losing them. But all in all, man, this figure looks really good. You got the remote control, the headset. They knocked it out of the park with this. I really do think so, just quickly looking at it. Although the $40 price point, I really wish it was less. You're going to give me a smaller figure, you really should give me a smaller price point. Just me. All right, so let's wrap up the NECA Gargoyles Lexington. Again, another wonderful figure. The NECA, I think, really knocked that out of the park with these gargoyles. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. But if you do like the content, hey, you know what? Jump on the social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, a Punk with Toys, Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. And last but not least, don't go anywhere. If you like the content that I've been giving you, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. So you're notified every time I do drop a Gargoyles video. I'm not sure what else is coming out, but I'm sure they're going to do more. This line is not going to end. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here, but you stayed here this long. Don't go anywhere. Right up here is one of the Xanatos videos, and here's a playlist to all the other Gargoyles figures. Take care now.